So, Biggs, should we move on to our JoJo review so I can get this show on the road?
Sure. It's not that crazy of an episode, I guess, so I feel like we can get through it pretty quick.
And I was gonna have Aggie review it with us, but he got here 20 minutes before we started the show, so I was like, fuck it, I guess I'll have to watch it without him. But it is what it is. Florian helped us review episode 4 that he did not watch. Maybe Aggie can help us with episode 5.
True.
But episode 5 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, folks. That's right, it's JoJo 190, reviewing every episode once per week. We're 5 episodes deep. Biggs, where should we begin?
Um, I mean, I guess we should just start at the beginning.
Actually, we should start last week. We did fuck up a little bit, Biggs. I made
Uh-oh.
the error of saying that JoJo was recovering at Ario Speedwagon's house, and I was wondering how the fuck did Arena Pendleton find her way here? But the gracious commenters on Mumkey D. Jones, they let us know that was actually a hospital. It was not Ario Speedwagon's house.
That makes more sense. I wondered, I was like, I don't remember it being his house, but whatever.
Now, Biggs, if I was doing a One Piece podcast with somebody and they claimed that Luffy recovered at Shanks's house, I would, as a general fan of the show, I would be able to say, actually, that's incorrect. Are you a fake fan of JoJo, Biggs? Because this seems
Could
like a
be,
pretty dumb thing to not get on your 8th watch through.
could be a fake fan, I guess, because I
Wow.
also didn't read it, and all JoJo fans are like super pissy if you don't read it too. And I'm like, eh.
It's not too late, Biggs. We could read it instead. People keep telling me the manga of JoJo is longer than the One Piece manga.
Well, we're gonna have to read it eventually because we're gonna run out of like the anime to watch. We'll have to read the rest.
Surely they can catch up by the time we do.
No, it's not gonna happen because they haven't animated what the last one's part 6 that they animated, so they still have like 7 and 8. I don't know. We'll see.
What else are they doing over there? Fucking tsunamis and earthquakes? Like, get to work. Roblox Miner, thank you for the donation. I'll probably do Depression Chamber either this Sunday or the one after it. But this episode we have JoJo, the JoJo trio, him and Ario Speedwagon and his checkerboard hat friend whose name is Zappelli or something. They're just on their little journey, but little kid comes, steals their shit, and it turns out the little kid he's like a brainwashed guy, and really it's all leading up to another boss fight with Dio. Biggs, what is this pacing?
So I think if I'm remembering right, I think like the point of the kid showing up was to show off a little bit more of the powers of the Hamon because they're like,
Mm.
what he like walked on water or something there for a minute when
Yeah,
he
and
was
he had
chasing
to
him on
use
the
it to
water.
break all the rocks in the cliff in a certain way. But Dio just wanted to trick them into chasing the kid into a graveyard because now the sun is gone, the moon is full. It only took 1 minute to transition from day to night, and now it's a real monster mash, and they have to fight all these zombies while Dio's up on a cliff.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, it was like getting to the point of sunset when they found the kid. So
It's almost as egregious as The Dark Knight Rises, Biggs, where it goes from day to night in like less than a minute.
I mean when they're showing through the cliffs, it literally shows like the sun going down at that point. So
Yeah. Well, like you said, there's not much to this one. It really is just a lot of action, punching some zombies in the face, and we get an epic block of Dio is freezing Zappelli's arm, and he's about to punch him and shatter it into pieces, but homeboy Jojo comes to save the day. It's very reminiscent of Doflamingo attacking Law, and Luffy blocks it with his foot. I think maybe it was an inspiration.
yeah, so like I don't know, it's tough because this is one of the ones where it's like there's a lot of action going on, but there's just I mean, it's all the same fight scene, so like I don't really know what all we can really pull out of it. But yeah, basically, he encounters Dio once again. He has to fight a bunch of his goons. Um, trying to remember, it like went into some kind of history with one
Yeah,
of the
so the new sub bosses are these two guards from the 16th century or something, and they were really into the the Queen Mary, Queen of Scots. But they got tricked. They said, "Oh, you love this bitch? Well, we will spare her if we can kill you two." And then, as they're getting decapitated, they see they were betrayed. She's already dead, and now their spirits have hundreds of years or however long of vengeance and rage built up. And now that they've come back as zombies, JoJo has to go up against this centuries old vengeance, which I guess the vengeance he holds in his heart for his own dead father will have to overcome their vengeance. Biggs, it's a vengeance off. Who has the
It
bigger
was also
penis of vengeance?
hey, but it was also his hope of the future too. So the part where it splashed Arena up on the screen. So you can't remember or can't forget that part.
Eggy, do you have any thoughts on this JoJo episode you have not seen?
Well, I was really tapped into the commentary. It was definitely painting the picture in my mind. However, when there was a person there, Burger Skunk, he said that by viewing your camera, it appeared that the room was tilting to the left, like some kind
Mm-hmm.
of puzzle maze. And
We're in the hallway from Inception, and we're about to fight on the walls.
speaking of which, yeah, speaking of Inception, Louis from the chat, Luis. I don't know if you opened your Instagram DMs. He forwarded something to me to forward to you related to Inception. So
Oh shit. Okay.
it's a great cat meme. I think you'll really enjoy it.
Oh, is that the one that looks like Shoji?
It might be. I think
Okay, I
you'll
think I did
have
see
to
that.
observe it with your own senses.
So Biggs, I don't want to leave all the JoJo stands upset with this review, but this might be the first time where I've believed them from the advice of it's a bad idea to review this one episode at a time. Like, this might be the first episode where that really shines through.
Yeah, I guess to finish it off, I guess I could ask a few questions.
Let's do it.
So I'm trying to think of the questions I'd asked before. So with this hormone thing, do you feel like it's making the show any better, or do you think that's just kind of like a side thing that you don't really get or something like that?
It's
Because
adding some dynamics to the fight scenes that otherwise you couldn't have, and it's really just an explanation for the characters to be able to do magical shit. I mean, it's really that's a topic of debate for One Piece as well as if hockey took some of the creativity out of the series because it's just kind of the solution for everything. And it used to be like if you want to beat a guy who's made of sand, you have to fucking like be creative and get him wet. But now if you just have hockey, you can hit anybody. I wonder if it's sort of a similar thing with his Hamon where the creativity in the battles might be restricted because now you can just always use the Hamon power instead of having to maybe just base it off of maybe your environment. But I don't know. He's kind of combining his Hamon powers with the environment, like punching that guy through the wall and stuff. So maybe it won't hurt the show that much.
yeah, I think for me it was just like because I hadn't seen really anything about it before I watched it, but I knew like I've seen like clips of it from memes and whatnot. When I started seeing this Hamon thing come up, it was so strange to me, and I didn't understand it. And I think at first I didn't like it, but over time it kind of like grew on me, I guess. So I was just curious. Um, let's see. So what do you think of the Joe Bros so far? Like Ario Speedwagon and Zappelli. Do you think they add good things to the show, or do you think it's just kind of like a whatever?
I want to like Ario Speedwagon, but I feel like he's kind of getting the Tristan Taylor treatment, which is from Yu-Gi-Oh. Like he's kind of just there. He doesn't really duel. You know, he's not good at the game. He's just like the friend who pals around to say shit to you. And like he kind of helps in this battle, but not really. Like the guy's arm is frozen, so Ario
I mean,
Speedwagon says, "Let me pull out my super hot abs," and he pulls up his perfectly chiseled 8-pack and puts the guy's cold arm on it to warm him up. Like
I
that's
mean,
some Tristan Taylor energy right there.
there's literally a part where he's like, "I don't want to be here to hold you guys back." So I
Hmm.
I get that. Do you think he'll ever like be beneficial to the group?
I hope so. I hope he goes from Tristan to, I mean, at least fucking Piccolo. Like, can we give him something to do? Can he help out in a fight without just being some sexy dude with hot abs?
Yeah. Well, other than that, I don't think I have many other questions.
All right.
I feel like the next few episodes are going to be a lot better for commentary, though.
Aggie?
Yes, I have some input as someone who has not watched this episode. So we're talking about jamon. And when we're talking about jamon, I think of the world's finest pork, jamon iberico from Spain. Listen, you know what? I don't know too much about anime. I wish I used to know more. But what I do know is eating. And if you got the chance to have some jamon iberico pork from Spain, they're pigs. They only eat acorns. And they are very special pigs. You should definitely give it a try.
You want some of that acorn-fed pork, Biggs?
Sounds good. I have not eaten yet today, so